Nico Harrison said some more stupid stuff at his presser. I mean, so for a guy that, doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on the fact that, hey, defense wins championships, for a guy so confident in his beliefs and the decision to trade Luka for Anthony Davis, they have a private media session with no cameras, no audio recording. Your actions speak louder than your words, I'd say, in this case. What was your reaction when you saw that news come out that there's no cameras, no audio recordings allowed for Nico's, goodbye presser?
How is it possible that the Mavs keep making this worse is my question. They obviously made one of the most ridiculous trades in NBA history, probably goes down as one of the worst trades in sports history. And they continue on this 2-month long thing where they take shots at Luka in the media, where they go ahead and justify what they did because of, again, defense wins championships, even though they went to the NBA Finals last year. And they go ahead and still do a tribute video and all that type of stuff. They're trying to make up for the fact that they did 2 months of slandering the guy who basically led them to a finals run. And now you have a situation where they did this media press tour with nobody. I think that's the thing that's the wildest part to me, is they did a closed door media session like it was a movie, like they thought that they could get away with something or maybe keep the narrative to whatever it was. I'm not sure exactly why they decided to do a closed door media session. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But some of the quotes that are coming out from that, like the defense wins championship thing. The other thing was, I believe it was ESPN's Tim McMahon who asked about the Supermax. And, Nico Harrison was like, oh yeah, we have no guarantee that he was going to, sign the Supermax. And Tim McMahon is like, no, he said he was going to sign the Supermax. And he's like, yeah, we had no guarantee. It's like, man, nobody is going to not take an extra $100 million of money, man. That's just not possible. I'm sorry. But those just terrible excuses, man.
When I saw that, I did a podcast with Jason Gallagher, who works with Old Man in the Three and Mind the Game with the Braun Show. Gallagher, huge, Mavericks fan, not so much anymore, I guess, because of what happened. But Jason and I role played as Nico Harrison on my podcast. It was like a day or two after the trade. I'm like, this is why we did it. We didn't know he was going to sign.
Yeah.
And Jason's like, you sound a lot more logical than the real Nico. You sound a hell of a lot more logical with your decision making here. It's like Nico listened to the podcast. He's like, that sounds like a pretty good reason. I'm going to say that. Granted, you have this reporter that did a whole freaking book on Luka and Tim McMahon.
Oh my God.
That definitely spoke a hell of a lot to Luka and has a lot of inside sources on what Luka was going to do. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. They keep making this worse. You said it, S.
Yeah.
They keep making it worse. Even like go back at the first game without him, they blur out Luka and they cover him up with Mavericks logos. Like every decision at every level of the organization with the social stuff, the PR team with the behind closed doors, Nico speaking out of his ass. Like every choice is making it worse. And I feel bad for Mavericks fans. It's been months, and granted, you wouldn't be over this loss in months. You're never going to get over this loss as a Mavericks fan, but it keeps bringing you back to that moment with these bad decisions. And they can talk all they want about, Cuban had a quote about, you still need to root for these players. It's not their fault. Of course it's not their fault, but it is the fault of the guy who makes the decisions when he's saying, I work on behalf of the Dallas Mavericks, not Dirk Nowitzki. It's like Dirk is the Dallas Mavericks. He's what made them part who they are, with his loyalty and his play, sticking it out there and turning into the player that he did through some early lumps and early ups and downs. Dirk is part of what defines what the Dallas Mavericks are. And you come in and you change all that, and then you double down, triple down, quadruple down, sextuple down. I don't know, octuple down. I don't know how far it goes. It just,
I'll just say this.
It hurts me.
It does. And it should hurt a lot of NBA fans that this is the way that it went down, because I just think it's the most bizarre story in the NBA. Where people probably are wondering how much longer we're going to talk about this Luka Doncic trade. A very long time, just because
when's the NBA gonna make them change the conversation and bring in their new Colangelo? Like you did it with Sam Hinkie and the Sixers. Yeah. Are they going to? We're going to talk about it then. That seems inevitable at some point.
That's a good question. Do you think that if the Mavs this summer decided, okay, we're going to fire Nico Harrison, is that enough from a Mavs fan perspective to move on? Because he made one of the worst trades in NBA history, maybe the worst trade in NBA history. And then for him to get fired 4 months later, it feels like it's too little, too late. I don't know.
You gotta, it's like it's a bad breakup. You gotta get rid of Nico. You gotta trade AD. You gotta trade Max Christie. You gotta get rid of Jason Kidd. Everybody that reminds you of that trade. Delete all the pictures. Get rid of all. It's that type of breakup. You need a completely clean slate. That's what the Mavericks need. That's what I think they need. Do you agree with me there? Just totally.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Just completely start something new. Just whatever it is that you have to do to get over this. I don't know, man. Like, how much longer are these fire Nico chants going to happen? How much longer will the Mavs just go ahead and deal with them? And then from the ownership's perspective, like, it just doesn't seem like Patrick Dumont, or, just from the quotes that we're seeing from some of the reporting around this trade, doesn't seem like there is a clear, concise basketball direction other than defense wins championships. And we thought we'd have a better chance of winning a championship, which is objectively incorrect here when it comes to trading Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis and all those guys. It's just still bizarre, still very bizarre. And now you get to watch Luka in the playoffs for the Lakers. That's the thing that the Mavs fans are going to have to deal with. Tough.